It's 9:43 on a Sunday morning and we are at the Carboot. But the thing is, we are only just arriving. So I know they say the early bird gets the worm, but the thing is, turning up this late, will we be able to pick any scraps? Let's find out.
Pick up! Building the gangster! Run tricks!
Hello again folks and welcome back to another video. And do you ever have one of those days where you just cannot be bothered to get out of bed, even if it is to go game hunting? This is half the problem with car boots. They are always on a Sunday morning and you always have that pressure to get there early. But this week I'd already decided I wasn't going to go to the car boot, but I woke up and thought, who am I kidding? I need to feed this game hunting addiction. So we still went to the car boot, but we did get there super late. So the question is, did we still score? Well, we're going to find out together. But before that, I just want to remind you folks watching, if you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and please subscribe, as I put new videos out every Saturday live at 5 and really want you folks along for the ride. Now, let's get to the car boot, even though it is a little bit late. Here we go then. It is so good to be back at the car boots, even though we're not really here as early as I'd like to have done in the morning, but we are here nonetheless, so let's get stuck in. And the first stand I came to had this very nice PlayStation 2 steering wheel, as well as a stack of demos you can see over there. Like, the only thing is with these steering wheels, they do take up a lot of space, and this one was a little bit expensive, but it's cool to see stuff this early at the day at the car boot. Next stand, we have a pretty nice bundle of PlayStation 3 games. Let me know in the comments down below. I feel like I see Xbox 360 games a lot more than I see PlayStation 3 games, but I did pick a few of these up, as well as that strategy guide. These were games I already owned, but they were really good trading games at CX, so for £4, a bargain. Two things you love to see at the car boots are Star Wars memorabilia and weird stuff, and this item fills both quotas of that.
What's your mouse, please?
He's hoping to get £1 for it. Apparently it's like from the 90s and this has been stored in a box ever since. Like,
Yeah.
it's more of a collector's.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be using it on my computer at work, but yeah, I'll do £1 on
I
that.
mean, you could do.
I'm sure I might do now.
Your work to the dark side.
Quite tempted now, I think. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Cheers.
Here is something that you again do not see all the time, and that is these Lego in-store displays. These are the kind of things you'd have in toy shops to kind of show some of the new model sets that are coming out. Very cool display piece. I do not think I quite have the room in the games room for these, but I'm sure someone would love to have these in their collection. Again, you know me, I love alarm clocks and I love Star Wars. This one was a no-brainer.
Does it just need new batteries?
Yeah, that's all it needs is new batteries, literally.
How much you got on it?
50p?
Yeah. So another more Star Wars.
So we were off to a good start at this car boot, even though we had turned up pretty late, but it definitely seemed like the theme of the day was going to be Star Wars. You can see here, there's another Funko Pop. I do actually collect quite a few of the Star Wars, Marvel and video game based pop vinyls. I don't even know how I've managed to get so many along the way, and you know, I'm just always looking out for cool Star Wars stuff. Like, I quite like that little mini Millennium Falcon and the Funko Pop, but you know, I had my eyes on something a little further down here. So you can see this store had quite a lot of nice kind of vintage and old school toys, but once you get past all of the toys, you will see at the other end they had boxes and boxes of video games. And this is one of my favourite ways to go through games, is just to raid these boxes and find like those titles that are hiding in here. You know, a lot of the times you will have to go through and separate the wheat from the chaff, but you will find some cool stuff in these boxes. Normally people are looking to sell these off fairly cheap, and this is the best way to get a bargain. So I wanted to go through all of these and build myself a little bit of a bundle.
Yeah, are your games all different prices, mate?
Yeah, multitude of prices. They're cheap though.
Oh, no, that's the right price.
Yeah, they're sort of like pound upwards really. That's just what we read. I'm amazed how many I sold today.
Yeah.
I knew the Wii stuff would go, but like PS2,
Yeah, it's surprising a lot of people collect you now.
big resurgence in there, I find. And the Wii consoles as well.
Yeah.
Pound mate, if you want. Tell her to come over, we'll be here for a bit. Love you and Jack, thank you.
Iron Man?
Where's Iron Man?
Can't they absolute right?
Skylanders for the collectors.
Yeah.
£2 on that.
True pinball there.
Nice big box.
Gotcha.
I've got the box version out before.
So I think there's a loose GTA for the Xbox there. Yeah.
In case you're wondering, this is actually how I have built most of my game collection. Kind of getting the filler titles for the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, and even a PlayStation 3 from big kind of bundles and kind of boxes like this, where you can just pull loads of games out and just try and get a decent price by bundling them all together. Most people mainly just count for the games and pretty much charge £1 or £1.50 on most of them. And this is the way to get good deals at a car boot. Bundle them up.
Check.
12 quid.
Do around 10.
But always remember, when you're at the car boot, it's always best to haggle. It's those £1 or £2 saved here and there that really make the difference. You have even more money to put into your game collection. I've been on a real run of looking for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles toys at the moment, so seeing this giant figure was pretty cool. But it's just not the design of turtles I like. I kind of like the more old school 80s ones. Now this, folks, is how I like to look at video games at the car boot. Just a table stacked of a little bit of everything. So starting off, I saw this Xbox 360 Live Arcade disc. I did check, I did have this one, but it does have a couple of games you'd normally think would be digital only. So if you haven't got these arcade packs, pick them up. There's some proper arcade classics on there. But yeah, there was a lot of stuff to unlock on this table, especially when I went under the table and found there was even more stuff in these bags. And these are the kind of bags where you can find hidden treasures. Not Toy Story 3, but you can find some stuff hiding in these bags. This is where you have to get digging at the car boots. You have to get in there and you will find stuff like this Nintendo 64 official guide. This thing is absolutely incredible. I think it came with official Nintendo magazine, like when Nintendo 64 was pretty young. And yeah, I will show you through it later on. We get into the pickups. There was some really cool stuff in there. And yeah, you just have to dig through these bags of games. You know, you are going to have a lot of FIFAs, a lot of Wii shovelware, a lot of just general rubbish. But you know, if you go to the car boot, you need to put the work in, because this is where stuff hides. And, you know, this is another example of a place you can make a really good bundle of games. Just picking up a load of these kind of cheaper titles and bundling them together, and you can get yourselves a decent deal. And, you know, that is what it's all about, the car boot, finding the best deal. But of course, you're always going to get the chances at the car boot who try to charge £5 or £6 for basically worthless PlayStation 4 games. Annoying. Let me know in the comments down below, am I the only person who sees loads and loads of M&M merchandise at the car boot? So I see it all the time. I don't know if it's a Norfolk thing, so let me know in the comments down below. Recently, I've been adding a few more comics into my collection, but, you know, I'm just going to come out and say it, I do not know anything basically about comics. I just know what I like, and I literally just judge a book by its cover. But seeing these Masters of the Universe Revelation comics for just 50p, down from £1.50, yeah, I'm going to pick them up, especially as it was issues 1, 2, 3 and 4. But, you know, I just like to dig through these bins of, like, comics, see any that I kind of like the look of, especially when they're only, like, 50p, I don't mind taking a risk. You know, if I can pick up cheap comics to add to the collection, I'm very happy, especially if they are video game ones. I'm always looking for video game-based comics. Sadly, there's no more here, but for 50p, I'm going to pick up these 4 Master Universe comics. This is arguably one of the most expensive items I've seen at the car boots recently, but it is an expensive item. You know, this has a recommended retail price of £140. I just think at the car boots, I don't think you can be selling big ticket items like this. I think these are better suits kind of your Facebook marketplaces or your eBay, but it was pretty cool to see nonetheless. Just, I don't think I'm ready to drop £100 on a Sunday morning car boot.
Yeah, it's worth a shot, isn't it? Cool, thank you.
We're coming to the end of the car boot. I'll always have a little scan of these sites and kind of have loads and loads of pop vinyls of them, just in case there's any cool ones there. And, you know, it's the same. You do get some resellers at the car boots, but you can get some good deals. Sometimes you do see the same people there week in and week out, but these are the kind of people it is good to get a good working relationship with. You know, at the end of the day, they're just there to make money. You're just there to make games. Hopefully you can make a deal. So it was now getting really late in the day and we were starting to leave the car boot. I was actually surprised how much we had found considering we had got here so late. So I would probably do it again. You know, some days you don't want to get out of bed, and even now I'm still finding stuff at the car boot. It's coming up to like 11 o'clock now and I've still found these original Xbox demo discs. I know they're not the most desirable item, but I desire them. You know, I collect these demos. Picking these up for like £1 for the free is kind of a no-brainer for me. I loved these demos growing up. This is how I played games. I didn't have all the money in the world, so I couldn't just go out and buy a couple of games every month like thankfully I can now. I'm in a lucky position where I can do that now, but you know, back then you couldn't. But never stop looking at the car boot. Like, I was right at the end and I found this weird item. It took me a kind of a minute to realise what it is. It's like a stand for the PlayStation 2. You slot the console in and it also becomes a multi-tap. So like you can have 4 players with your PlayStation 2 and a stand. It's one of those weird items, and these are the items I like to pick up at the car boots. The weird stuff. The stuff you'll never see again. And you know, when you can pick stuff up like this for like £1 or so, why not? You know, you are probably literally never going to see this again. It's a weird item. It's the kind of stuff I like to collect. It's super cool. I'm picking it up. This is the thing with the car boots. You never know what you're going to find. And, you know, sometimes you don't have to get up first thing in the morning. Yes, I might have missed some amazing items, but the thing is, I don't know what I missed, so I haven't really missed anything as such, and I've still managed to pick up some amazing bits for the collection. And you know, it's just, you have to have days like this. Some days you cannot get up first thing in the morning, and some days you just turn up late. But we still scored, so let's take it back to the games room and go through those pickups. It seems then that we took a bit of a gamble with this car boot and it did pay off. I know this isn't always going to be the case, but we got there late and still managed to get some awesome pickups. So let's jump into them now. There seem to be a lot of awesome Star Wars memorabilia at this car boot this week, and this is one of my favourite and weirdest things I've seen for a long while. It is this Star Wars computer mouse. It is from sometime in the 90s, and as you heard that person say, this is literally sat in a cupboard for ages. This is the kind of item I love to add into my collection. The weird, the wonderful, and the lost to time. I love alarm clocks and I love Star Wars, and it was kind of rude not to add this cute little Kylo Ren alarm clock to the collection. I still do need to put some batteries in this one, but I just love these kind of things, just littering the shelves around the games room, making the Force be with me. I've said it before a million times, I love to pick up strategy guides from car boots. There's a couple of reasons why. Firstly, they're normally super cheap. Not many people collect these at the minute, which is a shame as they're kind of a dying art. Secondly, they normally cost quite a bit of postage to get them sent. Normally about £3 to £5 per guide, as they are big and heavy. Most of these don't have a huge amount of value, such as this Assassin's Creed 2 one, but it has a surprising value to me as it is one of the last Assassin's Creed guides I need for my collection. The only one I need now is the original guide for the very first game. So I managed to pick this up bundled with 2 games for just £6. But those 2 games I'm taking straight to CX to trade in for credits. So I'm making money while at the car boot. This right here is one of the coolest items I've found in a long while while digging through bags. It just goes to show you never know what's going to be hiding in a car boot. And if I open this up, some of the pages in here are super, super cool. It's going through all the games available on the N64 and all the games coming out. And it's just so cool to flick through things like this and just imagine what it was like when the N64 was on the shelves and what games were coming up. This is the kind of cool thing I love to have in the collection. Our final kind of print media pickup is these Masters of the Universe Revelation comics. I have said it a million times, I know jack about comics, but I like to judge a book by the cover and to pick up the ones that I think are cool. And yeah, these are super cool, and it was very lucky that I managed to get issues 1, 2, 3 and 4. And I just love the artwork on these. I was a big fan of Masters of the Universe back in my childhood, and if you have not watched Masters of the Universe Revelation on Netflix, I highly recommend it. These were just 50p each, so I'm happy to add these to my slowly growing comic collection. Of course, I did manage to pick up some games, and these were all from the same seller. And this is what I mean about picking up bundles. So I managed to get all of these games for around £10. So £10 for all of these. First off, we have Hunted Demon's Forge, which if you remember, I actually picked up a strategy guide for this quite recently, so happy to add that to the collection. Always looking for stuff for the original Xbox. These are just kind of filler titles, but cool to add them cheap. So we have Indie Car Series. All of these games are complete. Arsenal Club Football 2005. If you know about the original Xbox, there is tons of these club footballs. I think there's about 20 something. Let me know in the comments below if you know the exact number. There is loads of them. Then we have some kind of Wii games, not so shovelware. These are quite interesting. So we have Samurai Warriors Katana, Blazing Angel Squadrons of World War II. I'm always happy to pick up these kind of flight simulator games. You don't see many of them nowadays, and I really enjoy them. Iron Man, the official video game, which I think is a bit of an underrated game, and these kind of licensed Marvel games are only going to get more expensive in the coming year as Disney just Disney-fies the license even more. And finally, Skylanders Swap Force for the Wii U, because it is a Wii U game I do not own. And if I see a Wii U game I do not own, I will pick it up. So, as I said, for this bundle of games, I paid exactly £10. They would only be about £12 if you pick them up in CX, but with postage, that goes up to £24, so it nearly doubles with the postage. So this is the way to build a game collection like this, when you just want to add general titles to your collection. Go to the Carboot, build your bundles, save your money, build your collection. If you are wondering who it is that is picking up original Xbox demos in 2022, it is me. I have said this so many times before, but I love these. From my childhood, I would buy this magazine every single month just to play new games. I think it's a lost art. Demos are a lost art that I think need to come back. Rather than just buying a game and be disappointing, you know what you're getting, and there is some quality titles on here. I literally got these for £1 for the free, and I just love going back and playing these games. So these are demos number 4, 5 and 6. So from the very early days of the original Xbox. The first one is, it's not a very exciting lineup. Like, I would not have been impressed this month had it not been for the Halo demo. A full demo of Halo. That's really cool. And the crazy thing is, it's not on the front. It's only on the back that it says you can play a level of Halo. You think that's the kind of thing they'll be banging on about? Because in the next month, they have a special feature on Halo. So they're more interested in telling you about the features than the actual game, which is pretty crazy, but very, very cool. And the final one has a playable Spider-Man demo, which is just really cool. But back in the day, this was how I found out about new games and how I decided which games to spend my pocket money on. Here we have the final item, and it is a bit of a weird one. I only paid £1 for this just because it is an oddity. It is a multi-tap adapter for the PlayStation 2, which you plug into the controller port here to give you 4 players. Obviously, we all know the PlayStation 2 only had 2-player adapters. It also has a thing here for your DVD remote, and I'm kind of presuming the PlayStation 2 would slide in here. And as well, it seems you can slide a couple of your favourite games in either side. It is one of these kind of weird oddities that I love to find at the car boot. You'd never like go on eBay and randomly find this, so finding it at a car boot for £1 is the kind of thing I love to find. So there we have it. I'm not normally a gambling man, but it seems like the gamble paid off this time. I know normally the later you get to the car boot, the worse the pickings are, but I had a great time and I had a lay-in on a Sunday morning. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please hit the like button. Please subscribe for new videos every Saturday live at 5. And as always, keep playing the game. See y'all soon.